Hello, my name is Kelly McCown. I'm a teacher, author, and owner of Teaching Math and More LLC. Today on the Teaching Math and More channel, we are talking about how to use a reference sheet on the end of year math test and how to prepare your students in a meaningful way. It is part of our math test prep series that will give you tips, strategies, and resources to develop a math test plan to meet the needs of all your students. You will learn how to help your students earn higher scores this year. The purpose of this video series is to help you, the math teacher, do less work by doing the wrong things, by instead using the best strategies for test prep to help your students earn higher results in math. Grab your video notes. We are on page 9 today. If you don't have the notes, you can grab them in the description of this video. Today we're going to talk about how to use a reference sheet, which falls under evaluate. This is the third part of math test prep. We are going to prepare students for the test by showing them what's available to them to use on the test. In the first video, we talked about the 3 parts of math test prep. Number 1, planning, having a plan for test prep. 2, practicing often before the test. And 3, evaluating, preparing with a practice test. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Number 3, evaluate. When planning for the end of year math test, look at the big picture. What is the end result that you want your students to accomplish? From start to finish, what is the desired end product, and work backwards from there. We've talked about part 1 of the math test prep, which is to have a plan. You have to create a plan to have in place for student growth. You need a plan to help your students get the desired goal. So what do you want your students to accomplish? Make a plan and how you will achieve it. In the description of this video is a free math test prep planner to help you get started. Now let's look at what we can do to prep with students on how to use the math reference sheet. Using a reference sheet doesn't just happen for your kids. They need exposure to using a reference sheet in class. You need to practice and exercise grade level skills using the math reference sheet. You don't need to practice all the math skills for your grade, just the ones that you know your students need to practice with the math reference sheet. Common things to practice with a reference sheet are formulas and measurement. The single most important thing to prep for the test is to have your kids read the math reference sheet before the test. Every end of year math test has a reference sheet for your students to use per grade. So make sure that they know how to read it ahead of time. This can be done silently or it can be read aloud as a class. Be sure to point out what's on the reference sheet, read the key words, ask students what they mean, read the formulas, ask students how to use them, read the conversions, ask students questions about different measurements. After having kids read the reference sheet, give your students a reference sheet quiz. This will help them apply what they know about the reference sheet to answer the questions. Students will see that they are allowed to use the reference sheet on the quiz, like on testing day, and some kids will think it's cheating, but remind the kids that they're not responsible to memorize all of the formulas. Let me say that again. Kids are not responsible to memorize all the formulas and conversions. That's why they have a reference sheet to help them, because they don't have to memorize all the things. They just need to know how to apply these math concepts. This also gives you a glimpse if they need further work reading or preparing with the math reference sheet. The point of the quiz is to check for readiness. Are your students ready to use the reference sheet on the end of your math test? Math reference sheets are different for elementary and middle school. In grades 3 through 5, elementary math reference sheets cover perimeter, area, volume, time, and measurement. These align to elementary math standards and are applicable on the end of your math test. In grades 6 through 8, middle school math reference sheets cover temperature, area, surface area, volume, and measurement. These align to middle school math standards and are applicable on the end of your math test. The links to all of these resources are in the description of this video. Completing a standardized test is not always intuitive. Students need help navigating how to read directions, solve math problems, where to put their answers, reviewing grade level reference sheets that they'll receive on testing day, looking over formulas and measurement conversions. Show students how they can use these to help them solve problems. Math Test Hero is the best math workshop for teaching your students how to help them earn higher test scores with math test taking strategies. This is a quick and easy 1-hour workshop for you, the teacher, that will give you tips, strategies, and resources to boost your math scores this year. Included are grade level checklists, secret test taking strategies that you will only find inside the workshop. Save your energy and get quicker results this year. There's a coupon on page 11 of your notes with the coupon code. There is a solution to the problem of how to use a reference sheet on the end of your math test. The solution is to practice using the math reference sheet now with your students. Try using a quiz to see if your students can apply the concepts in real time. The link to the quizzes for grades 3 to 5 and 6 to 8 are in the comments of this video. Grab the Guide to Math Test Prep notes for this series today. It's a 5-part video series on how to prep for the end of your math test. Each quick 6-minute video will give you tips, strategies, and resources to develop a math test plan to meet the needs of all your students. Learn how to help your students earn higher scores this year. For more information about the Math Test Prep video series, be sure to check out the description of this video. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, and we'll see you next time for part 5, the last video in this series of Math Test Prep. Thanks for watching.